So the other day, I got the chance to see the season 7 finale of Big Bang Theory. What I think of it? Um, I actually really liked it. It's probably one of my favorite finales so far for the show. I mean, for a while, I always thought season 2 was my favorite because they went to Antarctica, they had a lot of good tension in, and the resolution in the next season was pretty good. Um, I guess my opinion on it going into it was pretty low considering I wasn't a fan of a lot of the other odd numbered seasons and their finales. Season 1 was bland. Season 3 basically shat all over Leonard's character. I did love the Season 5 finale, though. That was really good. It's just kind of weird how that works. So I guess to balance it out, we have, at least to me, two crappy finales in the first couple seasons, and two good finales after that. Weird how that works. Anyway, I will be spoiling the events, though, so if you haven't seen the finale yet, I do not recommend watching this. So, yeah, let's just begin. If you didn't watch the previous episode before this, basically Leonard proposed to Penny, and we're seeing the effects of that in this episode. Everyone finds out, though I did love the line at the beginning, basically, where Raj tells everyone he had sex with this person, and everybody was like going to them immediately, and Penny and Leonard were wondering what the hell, and like Bernadette said the funniest line in that whole first act. It's like, well, you guys bros all the time. This really ever happens. And like, yay! And then everybody just goes over to Raj. Like, that was funny. After that, it was pretty okay. I guess I like some of the cutaway gags in it, like the maids randomly leaving, and the rest of the episode seemed to be focused mainly on Sheldon. Um, After Leonard tells Sheldon that because of the marriage idea with him and Penny, they're either going to move out of the apartment or move in with Sheldon, and Sheldon had to move out, and Sheldon flipped a bitch, and I can understand that, but I'll get to that later. And then the rest of the episode is, well, Sheldon pissed off about it. He goes to his girlfriend Amy to talk about it, and, well, I don't think this was helped earlier by Sheldon going to the university and suggesting a change in his career study, because that was one of the common themes of the season, because he didn't want to do string theory anymore. But in the end, the university told him to piss off, and then he has to deal with it like a little bitch. And the truth is, that actually happens in the real world, so, again, that's another good thing. Because you can't always get what you want, and you're kind of stuck with it. It sucks, but it's true. Well, during the conversation with Sheldon and Amy brought up that, well, you complain so much about him being a roommate, so you'll probably be fine with it. And then, after she brings up a good point that if you can't handle it, maybe she can move in with him. And I'm like, okay, that could work. I mean, we kind of saw that in an earlier episode last season, but that could probably be a good solution. And then Sheldon flips a bitch. Again. Though, his conflict makes a bunch of sense. He's not prone to change. He's like, everything has to stay the same. And I think he even says that in the episode. And yeah, I can understand that. Change is hard. And you gotta have to accept it. But Sheldon hasn't had the ability to cope with it. I will say, though, that bringing in Leonard's mother was kind of pointless. It's like, oh, at least she's not pregnant. And that, oh, I support it because Sheldon supports it. It's like, yeah, riveting. Though it is kind of funny that I think after that, and when it went to commercial break, the commercial following that was the actor who played Sheldon advertising a car. Like, I don't know why, but I found that kind of funny. And I know that has nothing to do with the season finale, but it's just something bringing up. I don't know, did anyone else see that? Anyway. And then, near the end of the episode, we find out that the comic book store is burned down. Stuart, the comic book owner, is now Howard's mother's maid, basically. And Sheldon leaves Pasadena for the season. Oh, and Amy flips a bitch, but I'll complain about that later. So, what did I think of this? Well, to be honest, I think a lot of people were probably predicting, because I saw these on a lot of comments, saying that, oh, nothing's going to happen, like, they've barely ever changed the status quo, and I'm like, yeah, they have. Look back to the season 5 finale. Did anyone really predict Howard would get married to somebody? I didn't think so. But they changed the status quo of that. Instead of making him a pervert, they made him I guess you could say a ladies' man, but not really. Well, he found somebody, and that's good. I'm pretty sure a lot of people were thinking, oh, Raj is always going to have selective mutism. Look back to Season 6. That fixed itself, didn't it? Even though that was one of the conflicts of Season 7. People were thinking Leonard and Penny weren't going to get married, and look what happened again. They've changed the status quo multiple times. I don't think that this is any different. But I was still surprised when it came on screen that they were seriously going to leave him there to take a train. I was surprised. I didn't think they'd do that. Sheldon's one of the main characters of the series. I didn't think they'd basically give him the axe. But who knows? Maybe there's some behind the scenes stuff going on, and they technically did this last season too. But I think the bigger surprise is that it happened to Sheldon. But I digress. This episode kind of tugged at me because I admit I've had issues with change so many times, and especially being a guy that moved to a town an hour away when I was like 10, leaving all my old friends behind, and that kind of what happens to Sheldon. It's like he can't change his course in life at the university. He can't go to the comic book store anymore because it's burned down, and he's going to have to eventually face the threat that either he's going to have to move or Leonard's going to leave. That's hard. And I think we can even see the stress there. Yeah, you could argue that this technically happened back in the second season as well, when he basically got anxious and left and went to the comic book store like a little kid, but I think the problem is that he never had the ability to cope with change. I think the issue with that is, I know the creators said that Sheldon doesn't have OCD. I think he has a case of anxiety disorder, because that's one of the symptoms where you have a big problem with change. But who knows? One of my biggest problems, though, with this episode is the ending, where Amy flips a bitch and hits Leonard with a pillow. I'm like, Penny was the reason why Sheldon left too, and you ignore that, you moron. God. I'm hoping they do something with Sheldon and Amy in the next season. They probably will, but we'll have to wait and see. Who knows if Sheldon's even going to come back in the season premiere like what happened this season with Leonard. I love this season. It tugged at my heartstrings and everything. And this season had some really good episodes, like the Star Wars episode, which aired 2 episodes before the season finale, the episode before the season finale itself, of course, the season finale, and a few good episodes included. I'm not going to say this season was absolutely perfect, like a gem, because it's not. This series did have some dud episodes in this season, like the murder mystery episode, as well as the scavenger hunt. Those were like, why? So, what did you guys think of the season finale if you watched it? Did you even watch it? Did you enjoy it if you watched it? Do you think it was the best season finale? Did you think it was the worst? What was your favorite season finale of Big Bang Theory? Let me know in the comments. I'm Curio Wave, and take care.